Damn, I'm smooth.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Okay, so if a woman was working fewer hours but earning the same rate per hour as a man doing the same job, would that show up as a gender pay gap?
No.
That's cap. I accuse you of capping.
Earthquake.
No, Captain. Genderqueer protest. This is where we assume them. This is where we fight. This is where they die.
How many genders, boys?
Remember this day. It will be yours for all time.
Stop assuming our genders. Biological men. Biological men. I said cut it out now. Biological men. Stop it, please. Biological. I can't breathe. Biological men.
At Wellesley, Brookline, you know, cities and towns that have so much more resources than the city of Boston.
Boston City Councilwoman Julia Mejia thinks more migrants can be placed outside of Boston.
I think everybody needs to start opening up their doors because this is a shared responsibility.
I'm pretty sure she hasn't helped. I'm pretty sure she's a typical leftist, basically telling everyone else what to do. Great at saying, oh yeah, you should let them into your home, but when it's time for them to do it, they're nowhere to be found.
What is a woman?
What do you think the answer to that question is?
I'm asking. That's why I came to a college professor.
What other kinds of answers have you gotten?
A lot of like this, where you're not answering. I've gotten a lot of that.
I think that has a lot to do with the way you've conducted yourself in the interview.
How have I conducted myself?
How do you think you've conducted yourself?
You just really don't want to answer the questions, do you?
For me, it's actually a really simple answer, and that's a person who identifies as a woman.
But what are they identifying as?
As a woman.
So what is that?
As a woman.
Do you know what a circular definition is?
I do.
It's sort of like what you're doing right now. A woman is a woman.
Like, I would say I'm probably the most left-leaning here. Like,
Okay,
I'm more like socialist, communist.
That's a good place to start.
Do you know it's been tried many times? Soviet Union did it, no good. China did it, Vietnam did it, Laos did it, Cambodia did it.
Okay, but capitalism isn't doing great either.
Capitalism's doing a lot better than communism. A lot better. And you just have to look at the evidence. And you can literally, I went to Korea last year, and I went to South Korea, and I went to the demilitarized zone, which is on the border of North Korea. And it is night and day between those two countries, because one of them embraced a Soviet-style communist system or socialist system, and one of them embraced a Western-style capitalist system. You go to Cambodia and you look at what happens when the Khmer Rouge came and took over. Absolute brutality. And that's because equality has to be forced, because human beings are inherently different.
What's wrong with these people? Do they not realise that if you want a communist state, you basically have to give the government full control? Since when has that ever been a good idea? And she's saying capitalism doesn't work when she does OnlyFans.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Make that make sense. But anyway, before we get into the main part of the video, I want to introduce today's video sponsor, Tej Hanley. For those of you who don't know who Tej Hanley are, they are a skincare company. Their sole mission is to help guys just like you and me look and feel amazing, and they do that by providing a simple skincare system. I recommend you start with their level 1 system. Now that's the system I currently use, and that comes with a daily face wash, which gets rid of dirt and grime on your skin, a 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of dead skin cells, an AM moisturizer with SPF 20, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Now my favourite part about Tej Hanley is every box you get comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in exactly what order. They make the process so easy. Even if you're one of them male feminists, the chances are that even you will probably have a high enough IQ to navigate through their system. Now, as most of you know, Tej Hanley is my first ever sponsor on the channel. I get messages all the time saying, can you promote this? Can you sponsor this? I'm not going to do it unless I actually like the product. So the reason I chose to work with these guys is because I've been using them for well over a year now, and I've had amazing results. That's why I was so excited to work with these guys. And let me tell you, they have massively improved the quality of my skin. But anyway, their products have made my skin look and feel better than ever. But don't take my word for it. They have over 7,000 5-star reviews on their website from customers around the world. In addition to amazing skin, if you're a member of Tej Henley, you'll get a ton of benefits, including 20% off their retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, and of course you can pause or cancel at any time. And if you're in the US, you'll get free shipping. And because Tej Henley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. If you click on the link in the description, you will get 30% off your first box plus a free gift, so don't miss out on this amazing deal. Click that link and get started today.
Bosh!
We annualise our figure to full-time, so we look at all part-time employees and full-time employees that may have worked part of a 12-month period, and we annualise that data to take into account part-time hours. So therefore we're converting the part-time hours to full-time, if you like.
So do you take into account the fact that on average a male full-time employee works longer hours than a female full-time employee?
Not directly, no.
You don't?
But we annualise the part-time hours and those that have worked full-time but for part of the year. So that way, because at the moment, what I can tell you is women work part-time at 3 times the rate of men. So by annualising it, we are looking at a more realistic...
So you base it on annual salary?
Yeah.
What about if you did it on an hourly rate? What would be the gender hourly pay gap?
Well, we don't have that data, Senator.
You don't have that data?
No, because we ask for annualised salaries from our employers when they report their data in.
Okay, so if a woman was working fewer hours but earning the same rate per hour as a man doing the same job, would that show up as a gender pay gap?
No.
That's cap. I accuse you of capping.
But well, then in that case, you are looking at hourly rates.
You got me.
Okay, Libby Lyons is a Australian former public servant who served as the director of the Australian government's Workplace Gender Equality Agency. I mean, how does someone like this become director? To not look at the hours worked, which by the way is public information and they easily have access to that, is pretty dishonest and deceitful if they know that and they're leaving it out. Either that or she really is that incompetent. Either one is still pretty alarming considering she reached the level of director within the government. And then she went on to say, oh, we don't collect the real hours. But why do you not look at the hours worked? Oh yeah, because it would totally destroy your argument.
That's true. That's fucking true.
Anyway, in the full discussion, she had no answer to that question. Someone next to her had to intervene. 5 minutes later, she then went on to say this, which is completely irrelevant.
So at this stage, Senator, is just because somebody might be sitting at their desk for 12 hours a day doesn't mean you're getting 12 hours of productivity out of them, and doesn't mean that they're working in essence any harder than someone that may sit at their desk for 8 hours.
With all due respect, what the fuck?
Are you delusional?
So now she's talking about productivity within a company. That's got nothing to do with the gender pay gap. Surely if someone's unproductive within a company, that's up to the management to deal with that, right? So I don't know what she means by that.
A belt, is that belt from leather or is that an artificial?
Yeah, it's vegan leather, yeah.
Okay, but it's leather.
Yeah, it's not someone's skin.
So it's actually an artificial product. That's the question I'm asking.
Yeah, no one was shot in the head for my belt. Vegan leather, so it's a synthetic material and no one was shot in the head.
So
and
that
it's
bit
not
of
someone
synthetic
else's skin.
material you've got, that produced as much CO2 as driving my car from here to Darwin.
Can I see the scientific resource?
Go to WHO, the United Nations WHO website. That will actually show you that for every 500 gram of synthetic material created, it produces as much CO2 as driving 2,000 kilometres.
Joining us now, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, and let's start, Karine, where Jonathan Lemire left off here. Is there anything new since we spoke with Admiral Kirby in the last hour in terms of the Biden administration's plans or response to what has happened?
So nothing new to report back from what Admiral John Kirby shared with all of you about an hour or so ago. What I will say, our deepest, obviously our deepest condolences go out, and our heartfelt condolences go out to the families who lost three folks who are military folks, who are brave, who are always fighting, who are fighting on behalf of this administration.
You're saying the quiet part out loud, I think.
Of the American people, obviously, more importantly.
You can say whatever you want, but the statistics don't lie. We know that if you raise the minimum wage, 2/3 of people in this country on the minimum wage are women. They need that help. We know that there is assault on women's health care rights from this administration, things like that.
Jess, please, I hate this selective feminism that we hear on the left all the time, okay? Well, don't make this a feminism issue, because it's not a feminism issue.
But it is,
when you're going out and attacking women, you're not, I'm not done, okay? When you're going out and attacking women, you are not a feminist. This is not defensible whatsoever. And you sit here and you say this because you care about mothers. The basis of this is that people are upset that illegal immigrants are being separated from their mothers. Why don't you refocus some of that energy to the Black community? They've been having their families separated. In fact, it's subsidized in the Black community. You appreciate single motherhood. You are giving more money to families for fatherless absence. So all of this selective fake outrage, when you guys do not have the same defenses for the Black community, is really lost on me. And it's time's up on this altogether. I think the Black community has had enough of you guys being selectively outraged for parents of illegal immigrants, but not for the parents of the Black community who have been separated from their family for about 6 decades now.
Colin and Jessica Stokes called the state to sign up to be a host family. It took less than an hour for the displaced migrants to be dropped off at their door.
I gotta get sheets on the bed. How many people are coming? Where are they from? What ages? We really knew nothing.
The need is so clearly overwhelming.
The family of 4 who didn't want to go on camera had been sleeping at Logan Airport. The parents and 2 kids journeyed from Chile to Texas, then Massachusetts, and there are so many stories like it.
It boggles the mind that there are so many hundreds of those stories.
The one question I have is, how come they're not willing to invite homeless Americans into their home? Why all of a sudden they want to do it now and they want to jump on the news, like virtue signaling? Look at us, we're such great people.
If you have a problem with someone's fat body, because that's what it is, it's fat, overspilling it into your seat, that's not the person's problem, okay? It's the airline's problem, because that's who you're paying your money for. It means they're not an inclusive company. They're not including people of different sizes. So if it's affecting you, think how much it's affecting that person. Now, her response to this was that people should measure their bodies and the seats before they book a flight. Find me a flight that's size inclusive, because I've never heard of it. More to the point, we shouldn't have to do that. The air companies should accommodate for everyone. Because I hate to break it to you, there's nothing wrong with being fat. People are fat for a variety of reasons, none of which are any of your business. Is it the airline's business? So if you have a problem with fat people taking up your space, we have a problem as fat people that space isn't given to us in the first place. So perhaps it would be more beneficial, instead of doing fatphobic TikTok videos, to use your thin privilege and mention that to the airline that it's affecting everybody.
If her legs ran as much as her mouth, she would have thin privilege as well. Charge her fat ass for 2 seats. Anyway, that's it for today's video, guys. So if you liked it and you got this far, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.
Sit down, sit down, sit down. Listen, you gotta get lively now, Leon. You're too down. Come on, you let them control you too much, son. You gotta get your hands going, Leon. You gotta get your hands going. Come on, listen, stop feeling sorry for you. Well, come on then. What's wrong with you? You're too down. You gotta pull the out of fire. Come on, Leon, man. You got it, man. Come on. You got me. Sharp shoes on. Yeah? Come on, Leon. Let's go. Do it again.